No De Goey for another week. We will be without Darcy Moore as we take on Guyana in the MCG on Saturday afternoon. So injury news has just come out that Darcy Moore has suffered an AC joint injury in his shoulder. So we talked about this a little bit on Monday and a little about this in my preview that I just posted. That he trained on Monday with the rehab group and he looked like he was running well, and then he went off early on, and now they're going to give him 1 to 2 weeks. They're hoping it's only 1 week for him to return, but they're going to be super cautious like they are. It's still super early in the season. We're not even halfway through the season yet. So they're going to give him 1 week, maybe 2 if he needs it, but I doubt it. They'll assess him for the North Melbourne game. So we will be without Darcy Moore. We'll talk about what the injuries sort of mean a little bit later on in this video. But the one that sort of bothers me the most is Jordan De Goey. Now, last year in this same sort of fixturing, during Sir Doug Nicholls' round as well against Guyana, Jordan De Goey returned from a groin injury, kicked the winning goal, if you remember. And now it's an inverse where he was supposed to return this week, but hasn't done his Achilles. He has suffered a bit of pain in his Achilles, so that's what kept him out for gather round. So he's missed. So they took him out of the Fremantle game so that he can play this Adelaide game. And then apparently, late last week during training, he suffered some Achilles soreness, and that's why they're keeping him out of this game now. They're hoping it's a week, but on their website and on the injury list, they've put TBC. So don't expect De Goey to be back next week against North Melbourne. They're probably going to give him a few more weeks off. Remember what Craig McRae keeps saying about De Goey specifically. It's about working on his body because it's been letting him down recently. We need to put a training block around him, is my personal opinion. I don't want to see him this side of the mid-season break. I want him to have 4 or 5 weeks where he's just getting his body right. Someone in the comments in my last video said send him to Arizona. Do something. I know he was in Doha, but that was for a different injury. So it doesn't look like it's that injury anymore, his groin. It's more his Achilles now. And they said that after consulting specialists in recent days, the 29-year-old has been ruled out for a second game in a row and a third game with an Achilles tendon issue. Last year he played 13 games with that groin. So it looks like his groin is all good to go. It's just that Achilles tendon. And, it's frustrating because in my video, is he sort of done, or what sort of can we do with De Goey? The only thing that we can do with him is just don't force him to play, because fit to perform versus fit to play, he hasn't been either. He's been fit to play, he just hasn't been fit to perform. We effectively playing with one player down against Geelong with De Goey in the side there because of those injuries that he's carrying. Then Collingwood say, no, we're just giving him a rest. He'll be okay. So it's been mixed messaging, because then on Channel 7, if you go watch my other video that'll pop up, he says, no, I am in the rehab group. So it's like mixed messaging. We knew what was going on, not the extent of it, but we know that we probably won't see him for the next few weeks, and that's okay. It gives others a shot, and I want to see a fit and firing Jordan De Goey in September. I couldn't care if he's not playing these few games now, and then lead him up. July, August is when he should start building his games up. But I do want to see a big training block from him where he is just absolutely annihilating, and that's why I'm saying. And you don't put Jordan through the VFL. You don't do it, mate. Put him through the VFL, 50%. 75%, and then 100% into, when he's 100%, you put him into the AFL team. Tom Mitchell's doing it now. He's been battling, a year with his feet and stuff like that. Give Jordan De Goey 50% of game time. Let's see how his body goes. Don't just put him in when we need to win this game to finish top 4, and you put him in, and okay, he has 9 disposals, has 1 disposal in the third quarter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just what I would do, and it's just really, really frustrating me. But on some more positive news, Brody Myercheck is going to be a test. Looks like he will play. Lockie Schultz isn't positive. The Brody Myercheck news was positive. Lockie Schultz will go through concussion protocols. Jamie Elliott and Nick Dacos both are good to go for the Adelaide game. And Scott Pendlebury and Braden Maynard will make their return as well. Teams will be announced on a Thursday. On Wednesday, which is tomorrow, if you're watching this video today, which is Tuesday, they'll have another training session. So I'll be there at that training session. You will get those updates to see what is going on with the team, who I think is performing well, who's not performing well, and who's there and who's not there either. It begs the question though, with Darcy Moore out, do we bring in another defender? I don't think Charlie West debuts this week because, you know, Moore out probably doesn't help us. I'd rather them bring in someone like, you know, is it a Charlie Dean? Does what's his name? Billy Frampton, he's going to wear the brunt of Riley Fieldthorpe, but without Moore backing him. And I know Jeremy Howe is getting back into the game. Braden Maynard will help as well. But do we need another defender like a Charlie Dean? Or do we just go with the setup that we've got now, plus Maynard, plus Darcy Cameron are floating back to sort of be that seventh defender there? Or do they bring in someone like a Will Parker? I know it's not a Darcy Moore type, or someone like TJ who can play that intercepting mark and who has played that intercepting mark player. It's just, it's an interesting conundrum to have. Or do we just go without Moore? Because we've seen that we can perform. So we did play without Darcy Moore already against Essendon when he had that vertigo injury that he sustained. So we can play without Darcy, albeit, you know, Essendon's forwards aren't as potent as Adelaide's forwards. So I don't know, maybe they do chuck Charlie Dean in there and see how Charlie Dean, Frampton, how Maynard can go against these really big key forwards of the Crows. But anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below. How do you see this working out? Any suggestions on what the team's going to look like, leave them down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.